Yo guys, what's up? So the body lift is done. As you can see, I've managed to get the spacer on every single side. You see the spacer on the top there. There's one, there's the other. Okay, so now that we've done the 1.2-inch body lift, I would like to say that things went well. I mean, yes and no. We do have problems. The fact that I say it's gone well is because the problems are not that major. Like, for instance, right here, you can see the fuel hose, and that is sort of slightly. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's slightly compressed from before. Like, this is basically almost a bottleneck now. But that's fine since it's flowing down, so it won't really be a problem. And as far as I can see, there are no problems with the brake lines or the fuel lines. But the two other problems, one I will show you, is just ignore the paper covering the windows. I'm just doing paint prep. I'll be painting it soon. I guess I'll make a video on that later. Let's see. So now the other problem I mentioned is is the transfer case lever. So now, right now that is in 4 high. So that basically means all-wheel drive. So it is basically stuck there, and if I try to put it in two-wheel drive, yeah, it doesn't go. It just pops back. Now you can choose for HLC, which is a proper traditional 4x4 with the center diff locked. I mean 50/50 torque split and all that. But if I try to go into low range, yeah, that doesn't happen. That doesn't want to happen. That's fine. I guess I can just cut this plastic portion here, and that's what's pretty much blocking the gear lever anyway, and it should work as intended. Now the other problem, yeah, is I'll show you. It's in the engine bay. Hold on a second. Okay, so remember I mentioned the fan and the fan shroud? Yeah, well, it wasn't hitting back then because I had only lifted one side. But now, since that both sides are lifted, you can see that fan here doesn't really want to move. Yeah, it's hitting on this bottom piece of the shroud right off. Um, okay, that wasn't really supposed to happen. I thought this was fixed on the other side, but turns out this is a separate piece altogether. So now it should work. Now it should spin freely. It's locked. Okay, it's still not spinning freely. Uh, okay, I guess the fan shroud. I guess I'll make a video on it separately because what the hell? I'll have to remove it. I'll have to grind it down so it's not hitting anymore, and then I'll have to. Let's see. Now that the problems with the body lift have sort of been addressed, I guess. I mean, we'll only know what the rest of the problems are once we drive the car properly. I mean, I can already see one thing that might become an issue in the long run. Like, you see the steering rod? Yeah, you see the angle that's in? That is not going to be. I mean, it's not going to be happy considering we are running 35s. So let's see where that takes us. So now let me just say that the body lift is never to be considered a substitute for a suspension lift. Like, it's called cheap lift for a reason. Like, you just put spacers on all your body mounts and there you go, you magically have lift. But that's the problem with the problem with body lifts is that, like I said, all these problems, they're just they can just be completely avoided if you do a proper lift, that is a suspension lift. But of course, a suspension lift is always going to be way more expensive than a body lift. You're going to have to change your shocks, your rear coil springs, your front torsion bars if you're running a torsion bar setup.
Hi guys, this is me from the future. So I just wanted to let you know that if you got coilovers, it's about as simple as switching coilovers out for something that is rated for the height you want to lift. And of course, IFS just has limitations. If you do want to lift them, you'll be limited by your camber and most importantly your CV angles, because they tend to break if you do get a lot of angle on them. And if you're running a solid axle in the front, it's a bit more complicated because you can lift it more than what you lift in IFS, but if you do lift it beyond a certain amount, you'll be messing around a lot with your caster. And on top of that, you'll be getting your link rods, that is your radius arms and panhard rod slash track bar, to a pretty crazy angle, so your suspension geometry will get screwed up.
But the suspension lift, obviously, it will give you lift too, but then also at the same time, as the name suggests, suspension lift is going to increase travel for your suspension, which is always nice, I guess. Now, the only reason I'm doing a body lift is because I need clearance in my wheel arches for 35s, and no amount of cutting was going to give me clearance in the front. I mean, I showed this in the previous video, but as you can see here, we even modified the arch. But just to be safe, we decided, okay, let's just add a 1.2 inch body lift too. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Turns out a lot of things can happen which are not good. Okay guys, so that's pretty much the end of this video. I mean, it was just an update video to show y'all exactly what the problems you can expect if you do a body lift are / would be. So now that you know, if you do have any questions, you can, ask me in the comment section. And if you do know anyone who wants to do a body lift at home, I'm surprised if there is anyone who wants to do that at home, then you can, I guess, show them this video. If the video doesn't explain it, they can always ask me questions on how to do it. So that's that, I guess. Alright, chill guys, I'll see you later.